It turns out that this also now has become... Oh man, he's a little bit late on the pro production already. This has become a round of rank roulette, because on the loading screen of this particular viewer-submitted game, it did not tell me what league the players are. Right from the get-go though, there was a little bit of a delay of like 2 seconds at the very beginning here for our Protoss player, who goes by the name of... Really? You guys are gonna make me do this? Maybe that's just his name. Mr. Zelensky, his opponent, in the upper left, playing with the blue Zerg. We're looking inside of the main base of Lucid Shadow. Okay, first, right from the get-go, right, since we don't know what leagues they are, we can place our bets down below in the comment section. We have a delay on the probe start time, right? The very first worker that got made by the Protoss, and then we're being friendly at the same time? Also, what in the world is this probe trying? Okay. I'm gonna put this currently at about Platinum League, but I won't be able to reveal the answer anyways, because I don't know. But I'm gonna put this at about Platinum League for the time being. The real problem with this supposed cannon rush is that we are rushing an empty bit of space because Zerg is going for a spawning pool first. Absolutely brilliant here when you think about it. So we're going triple gateway? Is this just to like save a photon cannon, to like protect a photon cannon over here in the back? What's the point of these? Don't tell me you're gonna cancel the gates. He's gonna cancel the gates, dude, I can already tell. This doesn't make any sense because he now can't pass through anymore. He's gonna at least cancel this one. Wait, he keeps selecting them over and over and over again. I think he's just creating a wall off over here in the natural Berserk to get the photon cannon to go up, because I've seen this before, but the problem is there's not even a base. We're not even attacking anything. Oh man, we're attacking from a mile away. This is as if the Netherlands were to want to attack France, but we're actually accidentally attacking Belgium. You know what I mean? Like we're attacking a neighboring country. And likewise over here, we have France in the meantime, building a couple of spine crawlers on the other end. Wait a second. What's the point of all of this? I don't understand. The range in StarCraft 2 is very low, man. Maybe if this was Age of Empires, we could have some trebuchets from the low ground lobbing stuff into the main base. But as far as I know, last time I checked, StarCraft doesn't work like that. Okay, we have one Zealot. Let me guess, this Zealot is gonna kill absolutely nothing. Maybe a Zergling, but probably not. Oh, one drone? One drone? Yo, we had a little bit of attempted drone drilling. But that really was the best case scenario. Okay, so now that we have created this abomination of a cannon rush right over here on the low ground, on the Zerg's end of the map, what are we going to do next? Lucid Shadow, in the meantime, has gone up towards a lair. Now, I think anything lair requires the second gas. If he wants to go Mutas, if he wants to go Nidus, if he wants to go Queens, if he wants to do anything, he's gonna need a bunch of gas. So I'm a little bit afraid for what the follow-up plan is. Now, this is kind of cheeky. All right. We are bypassing Belgium altogether, by the way. I thought it was a neighboring country, but no, not the case. Not how it works. Double Stargate in the meantime in the main base of Zelensky. Fair enough. He's remaking what looks like it's Cyber Core over here, although is it even really necessary? He decides to start one up right now. I've got a feeling, though, we're not really planning on maybe ever getting warp gates going. Obviously, though, we gotta keep in mind that this is a viewer game, so maybe he wants to go and tech down? I highly doubt it. We have a Nidus Worm in the meantime inside of the main base. Second gas finally taken. Zork really wants to expand. That would be a bit of a donation. No, actually, oh, really? We're adding on another spine crawler. So we have a Nidus Worm to get an infestation pit. I guess we're going swarm hosts? I don't actually hate swarm hosts. I think swarm hosts are actually a pretty good choice. Although they are a little bit of a finicky unit. And we do kind of need an expansion here at some point. Oh no, he hit a supply block. He was just going to make... Oh man, he was just going to make the very first swarm host, I believe. But then he hit a supply block, so we're gonna have to wait for the next non-inject to pop off of that hatch. We probably should be injecting. In the meantime, on the other side of the map. Okay, we're following this straight up. With a potential Mothership, Tempests, Carriers, and all the rest of it. 2 Swarmos coming up right now. How in the world is this going to play out? So Zerg does have vision over here of the main base of Protoss. One Overlord was a little overly ambitious, fair enough. Nexus, in the meantime, does start up. What are we going to be using the fleet beacon for? And do we have vision of the Nidus Worm in the corner of the main base? Keep in mind that there have been queens out for a while already. It's only 3. Not really that much, but against a single Void Ray, it should be okay. Zelensky is going to have a look around, but the problem is he's going to be a bit late to the party. He's not going to see this in time, and now he hears the scream. Queens are going to be available. 2 swarm hosts. That's a banger. We have 3 more coming up. Where are we going to send it? Anywhere. No, he's microing them. Look at him. Honestly, you do have to respect the swarm host Locust because they deal an insane amount of damage. There's 1 pylon to bind it all. 1 pylon to find it all. And in the darkness, but no, I don't know. I gotta study up on my Lord of the Rings trivia. In the meantime, though, what in the world is going on here? The probes have decided to take matters into their own hands. Swarmos still have the Locust on cooldown. What is happening over here? Oh, we're all army hotkeying past all of the static defense. Okay, fair enough. I believe that's the first kills for that photon cannon set. Are you guys gonna attack the Nidus, or like what's the play? Finally, we'll be restarting this back up. I'm gonna knock this down at least a league. I said previously Platinum League. I'm gonna say gold on a good day. Possibly silver. The 2 Swarmos, by the way, did make it across. I would imagine we lost 1. Yeah. If the photon cannons were targeting anything, they... No, I think you guys commit, no? Where you going? Nah, 4 Locusts is not enough to kill the Nexus. At least we can learn exactly how much damage the Locusts are going to be able to deal. Wait, are 4 Locusts enough to kill a Nexus? Wait, hold... Oh, what? No! Wait a second. I mean, that was going to be remarkably close. He killed 1 probe. Fair enough. Shields will obviously regen. Still not everything, by the way, has been repowered up. Probe has made its very long trek around the map yet again. It's been patrolling around. Dude, this is a Protoss player with a mission. Look at this 1 worker that is going all the way around the map. He does not want to be caught off guard against a proxy hatch anywhere. Zerg, by the way, does not really seem to have been doing very much for a while now. These Locusts have been on cooldown for a bit, right? I mean, they were available again for a while already, too. Should we be going into more queens? Should we be making more spires? Should we go into a natural ever? Should we have launched the Locust wave over here to try and open up the natural? Should we have been using a Nidus Worm to maybe proxy a base somewhere around the map? Second gas, third gas, or third and fourth gas, actually, immediately taken over here on the second base. We should probably be using the long-range siege over here, man. Look, I was just joking about, a trebuchet in this game, but when you think about it, yeah, Swarmhosts are kind of like trebuchets. Except they don't look like one at all, but they function similarly. Oh no, we missed the transfusion there for a second, but now we're clicking the right queen. We have still 1 transfuse. We missed it. We still have 1 transfuse. No, 2 transfuses even. Okay. Okay. I'm knocking this down yet again. I'm gonna go silver 1. Silver 1 at this stage in the game because we're certainly lacking a little bit of potential multitasking. The real strength of the Swarmhouse, man, is that you launch the Locust waves whenever they're available. I guess in the Zerg player's defense, he was never planning on actually making the Swarmhouse, but he was forced into it because of the weird setup from the opponent. Zelensky has now been knocked down to just 16 supply, but it's a carrier, right? And there's really not a whole lot of anti-air available at this point. I honestly wonder what happens if Protoss goes straight across the map. The problem is, his entire map is gooped up. Yeah, his entire main base is gooped up right now in creep. And that means that he just, you know, has to be content, I guess, with all of these units getting their feet dirty. We have double Cybercore, by the way, in the main base. We have... What? Why do we have 3 cybernetics cores in 1 game? It's kind of ugly, no? Zerg, in the meantime, sitting at 2,200 minerals. Even though we've had very, very little, income throughout this game. Zerg is somehow, some way, still managing to build up a very nice amount of economy. right? We've got ourselves a good bit of bank. So what's the plan now? What are we gonna do? Zelensky has smashed his piggy bank and he's managed to afford a second carrier. Pro production finally resumes as well after being on idle for a very long time. 7 workers is less, of course, than you start the game off with. New patch and old. And despite the fact that there has been a worker patrolling, we are going to attempt a proxy base. And, oh my lord, really? This is the only base that doesn't have a rally point? This is the only base, I'm pretty sure, that this probe is not patrolled to. He must have gone to every base. Okay, there's actually another one over here too on the right, but that would be a very odd expansion to be proxying. Yeah, this is the only base that is likely to be proxied by the opponent. That our Protoss player is not patrolling that worker too. By the way, we have now had that creep getting cleared out slowly but surely, so the way he's clearing it out is with energy from the Oracle. Revelation is really good, but, I mean, it takes a while. It basically has now, so there's a little bit of creep around the base, right? It has forced Protoss to do nothing offensively for, like, the last 4 minutes, man. The Swarmos have also been AFK for a while already. They're still chilling inside of the Nidus Worm. It's starting to hurt. You know what? I started off this cast nice and positively, but this is what happens when I cast viewer games, dude. Slowly but surely, I turn into a bit of a dick. Yeah, and I was planning on casting 3 games today, so I want to apologize to the players that will be participating in game number 2 and 3. You guys have ruined it. Well, not you guys specifically, but like these 2 in the game. You dudes have ruined it. Are we gonna kill? No. They're gonna land over here. They're gonna land on the... Ah! Ah! Well, at least we did something with the Swarmos, you know? Maybe I should be happy. You know what I'm a little bit worried for? That despite the fact that this is a near unlosable game for Zerg, that this is going to be a Protoss win. Because Protoss has Skytles now, and look... look at it. Yeah, he's scared. He's scared, man. You gotta respect the carrier. I love, by the way, how we've had 3 cyber cores in this game, 2 of which are over here in the main base, but absolutely no research has been done in any of those structures. Not warp gates, not +1 for the air weapons or +1 for the air armor. Still not entirely sure why we made 3 of them. Honestly, I'm not sure why we remade 1, if we're never even planning on getting anything done with it, but anyhow... Protoss has no clue about the base in the upper right. And this is a little bit problematic. You know what is also problematic, though, is that Zerg is not really getting any anti-air. So he is currently pretending he's masquerading as a macro player by queuing up queens. So that is 6 queens over here, and then another bunch over here, too. So we have 8 queens in the queue at the moment. That is why suddenly his mineral count kind of dropped, but obviously he's not actually spending it even remotely efficiently. And I think what we really need... is a corruptor transition. If Protoss is just going to sprinkle out as we hit a supply block, by the way. 39 to 39, baby. Let's go. 13 minutes into the game. Oh, yeah. You know what we need? A robo facility. You know what we really need, though? A pylon. Are we gonna make a pylon? Silver 3 now, by the way. Silver 3 is what I'm going with. I started off in Platinum League, but Silver 3, I think, is my best bet. Okay, we're gonna kill Cybercore, number 2. Maybe Cybercore number 3. No, we're gonna go after the Fleet Beacon. Okay, so that's one way, I guess, to counter carriers. Fleet Beacons are 300 minerals, 200 gas each. It's not really something Protoss can easily afford, but here we go. This is the main Protoss army right over here. He should really be deploying all of the interceptors, actually. I kind of like the idea of attacking over here for a little bit, but that's queen number 1 going down in the main fight. Queen number 2 is certainly going to go down. If the queens pop out one at a time and he targets them? Oh, no, not the side. Oh, no, not the network itself. You should be targeting the queens. Yeah. Oh, guys, I think Protoss wins this. There is, of course, that proxy hatch in the upper right. Shield battery from the low ground, baby. Oh, my God, this is disgusting. He's still supply blocked, by the way. He has still not made a pylon. Bro's been supply blocked for 2 minutes now. He did lose a couple of probes, so maybe that's how he was able to get another carrier going? I don't know. He's been supply blocked on a Nexus, though, for a very long time. Oh my god, all of the queens are dying. We have no Spire. Lucid here is sitting at 4,000 resources. We go across the map yet again with the Nidus network. Okay, fair enough. I mean, this can turn into a really strange base trait. Zerg can easily destroy the main base of the Protoss, and he does have that proxy hatch in the upper right, but how in the world is he gonna kill the carriers? Cybercore number 3 in a little bit of trouble. We have a little bit of micro too, though, on the Locust. The fanciest micro in this entire game so far. That'll be the end for the Protoss economy. In the meantime, though, the entire minimap is glowing on the main base of the Zerg. So this will be it. We have a Spire. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a Spire. Do we have any larva? We have 8 larva at the moment. Most of it is over here in the main base. He is injecting the expansion in the upper right. What we really need is like 20 larva and about 20 corruptors, and this game is in the bag for the Zerg. He's got the resources for it, except for the larva. Oh, man. Oh, man. These games are bad for my blood pressure. Here's the probe, by the way, that's been patrolling left, right, and center since moment 1. This is the probe that was in charge of building the static defense on the other side of the map. He never checked the most likely base. Here's the rest of the probes right now. Thinking about, okay, starting up a new home. Finally, sweet revenge for the Cybernetics Core murderers. Fair enough. I guess he's gonna fire up a new Nexus over here. Dude, is he gonna see the creep? He still has not seen the creep. Spire, in the meantime, is done. We hit another supply block. Lucid, by the way, has now been hitting multiple critical supply blocks, but not nearly as long in total as Zelensky has in this game, who went from 39 supply block to 31 supply block. It's kind of impressive, really. Usually we move upwards in StarCraft, but apparently not in this game. Recall to the Nexus. Oh my lord, he still does not find the base. These two have become neighbors in the upper right. Nexus, in the meantime, dies with the next Locust wave, though, so that'll be the end of all of those recalls. What? We could have recalled like 2 minutes earlier, and it would have had the exact same outcome. What was the point in recalling now? Zerg hatchery in the bottom left. These two have become neighbors. We have 10 corruptors. 10 corruptors with more larva becoming available. Hatchery over here gets cancelled. Drone slithers away. Bro, he has scouted everything with the proxy worker, but he never saw the base in the upper right. This is insane. So at some point in this game, Lucid, or no, actually, our Protoss here, Coke, he's had, I want to say like 15% of his economy throughout the entirety of this game caught up in this probe. This probe has been responsible of so much potential mining. It's actually insane. And then it still does not scout the most important, the most likely bases for the opponent to proxy. Locusts are finally going to try and clean up the old natural expansion. Hatchery over here is going to die. Fair enough. Drone also falls. We are targeting down whatever we can now. I wonder if we should have done this a while ago, you know? Remember when the Locusts were on cooldown for ages? This should have been used for this a while ago, and he would have just been able to take the natural. Protoss now, though, or Protoss here, has taken a base right over here. Neither of them is aware of the neighbors. Dude, you can actually win this by killing your opponent's structures here as Zerg. Corruptors, in the meantime, have decided to engage in a very disjointed manner. Wait a second. We have way more Corruptors over here, but for some reason, a handful of the Corruptors decided to go in by themselves. Keep in mind that the win condition in a game of StarCraft is destroying all of your opponent's structures. And right now, well, we have Lucid finding out about the new base of the Protoss. This will be the end of all of this right over here. I do believe there's enough firepower in all of those Locusts to clear out the proxy. There we go, 19 minutes of in-game time. That means that all Protoss has is this, and then this. Zerg, in the meantime, only has this. That's it. There's no proxy second hatchery anywhere else. We have the Nidus worm over here, fair enough. But that's all very easy to snipe here for Zelensky. Zelensky starts up new Stargates. Ay, 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 ay. He's still supply blocked, by the way. He is... Okay, he also got the probe stuck. This man has been supply blocked for, I think, literally 8 minutes. Here's the Locust Wave. Oh, no, man. Come on. How is this possible? Nexus indeed will fall. Finally. We have Protoss spotting the creep over here, and this is going to force an engagement. But now, there are so many Corruptors out. There's plenty of Queens nearby, too. We have had about 10 minutes where Protoss could have quite literally attack moved for the victory. But I think this game is going to result in a Zerg win. GG. Well, no actual GG, but still. Okay, that will take us to the map Tourmaline. This time around, it's time for a Protoss versus Zerg. We're in the upper right, playing in blue. We have none other than Campanula. This sounds like a... I don't know, that username sounds like a supermarket brand for like yogurt or something. I don't know. Anyways, his opponent down in the bottom left, double extractor trick. Hiding all of the secret builds because he's playing under a barcode ID. The players, by the way, in the previous game were both in gold 2. The Protoss at 2600 MMR, the Zerg at 2800 MMR. So, pretty evenly matched. If you said gold 2, congratulations. You will win the opportunity to hit the like button down below. Congratulations, big win. If you lost, don't you dare hit the like button. Okay, maybe you can. I don't know. You can do. You can do whatever you like. Now, if you have an amazing game of StarCraft 2 that you think I should go ahead and cast next myself, you can go ahead and send it over to replays at LowkoTV. We're, of course, specifically looking now for games played on the brand new balance patch. These are still from the old patch, but that does not mean that they are going to be any less entertaining. It's just a lot easier, especially for modlesses, to review and select the very best games for me to go ahead and cast. If it is indeed on new patch, because if you load up, or if you try to load up a replay on the old patch, it takes like an extra minute or so each time. So if you want to send some games over, especially on the new patch, feel free to go ahead and do so. And if you really would like me to cast some of your games, we're actually hosting a new edition of the LowkoTV viewer tournament. It'll be, I believe, on July 18th. So if you're interested, I'll pop a link down below in the description of this video to the website where you can go ahead and sign up. I'll be live streaming this on Twitch, and of course I'll be casting as many of the games as possible together with Rushy. There will probably be many people, though, making fun of your games live, so you have to... It's open to people below Master League only, so we're trying to make it as fun as possible, but also maybe a little bit painful from time to time. By the way, this time around, even though that this has been a Protoss versus Zerg played on the ladder, right? I mean, we have not the Zerg player... the one defending here. We have the Protoss not opening up with a Forge first. It's Zerg going for a quick spawning pool. Okay. Well, you know what? It's what I always recommend, right? Make sure you double down on your mistakes. That's the way to do it. Never accept defeat. Make sure to double down on your mistakes. So, indeed, a Baneling nest right now to follow up this failed Zergling push in the early game is a brilliant choice. In the Zerg player's defense, though, a high ground wall off like this without a forge, not a low ground wall over here, right? It's a little bit odd. Not usually what we see in this particular matchup. So, it is a bit of an oddball of a defense here for Protoss. He's kind of just gotten lucky, I suppose. He's also hitting a bit of a supply block for a moment. Now the Zerglings are going to be able to potentially get the wraparound. Sadly here for the Zerg player, though, he decided to commit before link speed was done. The Protoss has also looped up all of the gateway units here. They appear to be very slippery. No way for the Zerg to be able to get a surround on it. Oracle right now on the back of this, and this is just a disaster. Already we have Protoss practically doubling the Zerg's economy. Even though there is a natural over here on the low ground, this Baneling bust... at least in theory, as we go +1 air, Oracles don't benefit from those upgrades. Anyways, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. This should be a pretty straightforward defense right here for Protoss. I mean, as long as there's something on hold position over here, quite literally anything. Yeah, it's gonna take more than this to just blow up this wall. Oh, okay, well, I guess that's one way of doing it. That's fine. It's fine. Nice little bit of micro here from Protoss. He may lose the natural, but I don't think that's really the end of the world. Yeah, he's gonna lose the natural over here. Still though, just rebuild it and go again. Rebuild it and go again. That's 100% the right call. There we go. Yep. So, oracles deal splash damage they deal spell damage in StarCraft 2, meaning that they don't actually, benefit from these types of upgrades. Honestly, a Void Ray wouldn't even be a terrible idea. We see a lot of Void Ray plays, but Campanula is apparently trying to go for at least something that looks somewhat like meta. A little bit of attempted meta play anyways, other than the high ground wall, I suppose. But some pretty clean control, though. I mean, I've casted hero games where he's got more units sneaking into his... Whoa. Well, that's a little bit of a... It's a bit of a exaggeration here. We're going into a fleet beacon together with a Templar Archives. So we're attempting one base Skytos. Look at the energy recharge. We should probably pull the probes. Nah, maybe don't. Nah, we don't care about that. That now suddenly has made the game a lot more playable though for the Zerg. I find this fleet beacon very questionable. It's so incredibly expensive. It's been more expensive basically than all the attacks of the Zerg so far. And this isn't really gonna do anything. Like getting a carrier out is nice. Getting a Tempest out is really nice too. Getting a Mothership out would be really nice. That's the only stuff that the fleet beacon really enables. And stuff like Phoenix range. Void Ray movement speed. But it's just a bit of an overcorrection, you know? Like this is like having a noise complaint from your neighbors. And then the next morning, your neighbor nukes your face. Like, I don't think you need to be doing that. Maybe you were a little bit loud past midnight. But that doesn't mean you should nuke your... He's going Mothership, isn't he? He's got 400 gas. Oh my god. Yeah. In my defense, I have never seen anybody counter a Baneling bust with a Mothership before. In all these years of me covering StarCraft, I must have seen tens of thousands of games by now. I've never seen anybody counter a Baneling bust with a Mothership. And it will work. It should be effective. But it's a bit of an overcorrection. This is like sending the special police fully kitted out, you know? We send the military to a retirement home just because grandma has been on the loose with a fork. What are we doing right now? But it will be effective. The SEAL teams will be able to knock down grandma real soon. Don't worry about it. It takes so long. My god. It takes so long. There we go. All right. Keep in mind, Mama has +1 attack. She does benefit from it. And I'm pretty sure she can solo the game. Yeah, Mama can actually just go in and solo the game. There's no need for the rest of this army. The rest of the army is decorative. It's nice. But we're now effectively playing League of Legends. Mama has Time Warp. She has Recall. She's got the cloaking ability too. All really good. But I'm pretty sure she's just going to be the carry of this team. Because as long as Protoss attack moves here, it should work out. Revelation. This is the sweatiest Protoss player I've seen in a while. I love it. There we go. Cloak saves some of the units too. Stasis Ward gets activated. And this Zerg is gonna feel pretty foolish. Here we go. Time Warp onto the Queens. Nah, don't bother microing backwards, man. I think you can just go in. I think you can just send it. Yeah, it's a bit of an exaggeration, but it'll work. And Mama's gonna be raking in kills now. We've smashed our piggy bank, by the way, in the meantime on the other side of the map. Carrier coming up. Nexus number 3 attempted 2. Hey, it works. It works. Maybe it was a little much. Maybe it was a little bit of an overreaction, but hey, it works. There is, by the way, a bit of an attempted wall off here. The Stalkers could not quite make their way across. Probe on hold position. We are kind of on a bit of a timer, though. Like, we should probably just plant the Mothership in the middle of the mineral line here. One Spore Crawler isn't really going to hurt it much. The scariest thing right now for Protoss is Zerg getting a Spire down. We don't know, like, we obviously know, right, that, like, Zerg can't possibly afford it here, but... Don't make him recall, though. There's no way. Nah, you just send it. Here we go. We just send it. Time warp in the mineral line, baby. We've got it. Yeah. Dude, are workers even affected by it? Are workers not affected? We're recalling something towards the Mothership. It was 2 zealots and a probe. Wait, are workers unaffected by time warp? Maybe they were affected. I can't really tell. Never really seen a Protoss player do economy harassment with a Mothership, though. It's a bit disjointed. Look at this as well. Man, this is the sweatiest game from Protoss, I think, that I've seen in a while. But you know what? Sweat is good. Look at him. Hold position with the Archon over here. No GG yet again, of course, because GG is overrated. One more? Let's do one more. Spawning right here in the upper left. Playing in blue. We have none other than Despot. Playing for Clan Beers. I feel like at the very least that's an honest clan tag. Because some of these games do appear to have the players somewhat intoxicated. Down on the bottom right, we have my cat. He goes by the name of Milo. Bryn Milo? Ah, fair enough. We're actually getting a new kitten in a couple months, 2 months from now. Late August. We still need a name, okay? I actually am open to suggestions. We haven't quite decided on a name yet. So we have Milo and Toby already, right? What should be the name of the third cat? We kind of would like it to be... Okay, if we want to be really strict, and we've been thinking about this for weeks, we haven't really come up with anything, but we'd like it to be like 4 characters, maybe like 2 syllables, and potentially a different vowel sound at the end. You know, a little bit... I don't know. Maybe somebody has a great idea. John. Chat. It is a boy cat. It is a male cat. Maru. Maru would be a great name. What about Maru? I don't know. Kimmy? Low wife really liked the sound of Odin or Otis, but I'm not so sure, especially because of Milo and Otis. Toby just kind of becomes a third wheel, even though he kind of runs the household. At least he believes he does. Anyways, what do we have here? We've got ourselves a Terran player, blind bunker on the low ground, straight reactor. This is a little bit weird, right? Like, this is like, it's a bit of safety baked in, but then also the riskiest way to go, because we didn't go Reaper and we did not go for an SCV scout. So this man has the semblance of safety right over here, but is actually, I think this is what women say when they kind of want like a good guy, bad boy. You know what I mean? That's this play style right over here. It's like, he's a bit of a bad boy. No scouting, risky build, but then at the same time, he's a nice guy because he built a bunker. Smart. 200 IQ strat. Anyways, in the meantime, on the other side of the map. All right, we're going into metabolic boost. We leave the drones in gas because below Master League, Zerg players never pull out. It's something we have learned many years ago. Factory, in the meantime, inside of the main base here for the Terran. So what do we do on the back of this? Engineering base right now? Okay, this is a very chill start. Neither player really committing to too much. We're going double reactor. That's a lot of reactors here. Roach Warren in the meantime too. Lair coming up inside of the main base. Okay. Okay, I don't know. Okay. So it's a Lair, Roach Warren, and Link Speed, and then a ton of Links, and a second gas. This is all incredibly disjointed. This Zerg player is saying, yo, I want a macro, and I want to tech up, and I want to be aggressive. So he's doing none of the things, but then also at the same time, somewhat all 3 of the things. Even though that's not really how the game works. Why is this one Zergling over here highlighted? Are you guys all readied somehow? Is there a ready point set up onto a Zergling? Bit weird. Why is the one Zergling over here? Is he like the leader of the squad? Alright, finally it's been changed up. Here's the bunker going in. Yeah. Jimmy and the boys do not quite die. Oh, we shoot at our own starport for just a little bit for good measure. Jimmy and the boys will die. Correction. Supply depot gets lifted now. Oh, man. Beautiful gameplay. Beautiful gameplay. Roaches in the meantime on the back of this. What was the lair for? Nobody knows. Why did we need a natural expansion? Nobody knows. What are we doing here? Where are we going? This is the type of game that makes me ask all of the existential questions. And what we should name our cat. Man, this seems like the best case scenario just happened here for the Zerg. And the best case scenario was getting even. What a gamer. It could have gone so much worse. But best case scenario, we play an even game. Now we do have the roaches, though, going across the map. Second factory inside of the main base. All right. Second bunker again, by the way, in the exact same spot. These roaches are going to hurt. We still don't have a flying unit here for Terran. He's making one Liberator. That's why we needed the reactor, by the way. So we can go for one Liberator at a time. Misrelied Hellion over here. Supply depot. Okay, another Misrelied Hellion. All right. Liberator, though, is not going to really keep things that safe. SCVs get pulled right now. Oh, it's so painful. Maybe I've been watching too many pro games lately, man, but like, you get used to a certain level, right? As a caster, you almost become complacent and you kind of forget how hard StarCraft really is. But maybe what we can do is have the roach run over here, lay on its back, and spit acid into the air like a fountain to kill the Liberator. Okay, Command Center lives, but it's burning. Zerglings try to leave the base, but now he's walled out of it. No! Hey, Jimmy! Jimmy, what the... Wait a second. Jimmy and the boys, Jimmy and Jimothy, were shooting at the orbital command. Wait a second. It's burning down. No, Bryn! Milo! Oh my god, if he's got the same amount of brain cells as my cat, he's never gonna notice. Oh my god. Oh. That hurt. Do you think you noticed? Like, he's making supply depots right now because he hit the biggest supply block you can hit. In the meantime, Zerg still, by the way, has not really made use of their natural expansion. He's making a spore crawler over here. We're finally getting some value out of the lair as we're building up Hydras over here with Hydra ranged. We never bothered, by the way, getting the Roach speed upgrade, which is also kind of interesting. Then again, though, and this is something that you always have to keep in mind, Zerg has no economy and Terran has mules. So despite the fact that Terran has been playing a pretty terrible game, I think economically they're kind of fine. Even though he lost his first command center, he's not really in a terrible spot. Even though he's not bothering sieging up the tank. Okay, we're gonna siege it up over here, over there. Where do we want to siege it? I don't really care. But this is still... Yeah, this is still a Zerg meat grinder over here. Oh my god, Zerg is gonna send it. Zerg is gonna send it. Zerg is gonna send it. SCV, save the siege tank. Repair! Repair! They are repairing. Oh my god. In the meantime, by the way, there's a couple of Hellions on the other side of the map. They're gonna start roasting what few drones there are, or at the very least attempt to. The Hellions have now actually got all the focus yet again because the Zerg push has been denied. Dude, there's no way. Did the Terran player send me this replay? Oh, I think the Terran player sent me this replay, man. Not a lot of people... Like, usually it's the winner of the game that sends their replay, right? is really the only thing that makes sense. This has got to be one of the worst games of Terran I've seen in a while. But I do believe that somehow the Zerg is playing worse. Drone's coming up right now for Despot, who believes that he needs to maybe macro up a little bit. Overlord speed? Yuck. This is like the most expensive, most useless upgrade you could be getting at this stage in the game. It's the same cost as like Hydra speed. I think Hydra speed... Okay. What? What? No. Make it stop. Wait, he just pulled every SCV. But like, why? Wait a second, you were winning. Whoa. This is completely unnecessary. Oh, he's gonna send it. But these siege tanks are gonna deal more damage to the worker line. Well, not really a worker line anymore. It's gonna deal more damage here to the Terran units than to the Zergs. Suddenly we have a bit of urgency here, right? Because there's just not going to be another follow-up here for Terran. Like, this is it. The longer we let the Zerg player micro, the better. But there's so many units, and he's going to be able to mass repair. Although right now he's run out of minerals. Wait a second. Terran can no longer repair because they no longer have minerals. Does he realize it? Yeah, he's trying to right-click. Look, that's why the behavior here on some of these units is kind of awkward. I think he just tried to right-click the SCVs onto the siege tank there. Not quite understanding. I mean, maybe he could drop a couple of mules. That'd be nice. But not quite understanding why the repair is not working anymore. Oh, my God. I think it's still going to work, though, here. In favor of the Terran player. Roaches trying to get across. New roaches popped as well out of the cocoons in the natural expansion. SCVs are attack moved into the main base right now. And they're going to take matters into their own hands. Liberator has been sieged up in the only spot that the Spore Crawler can't hit. We do have a proxy base in the far bottom left. But at this point, yeah, there is just nothing anymore here for the Zerg player. GG gets cold. And while our Zerg is apparently not leaving the game, there we go. It is ultimately going to be a Terran victory. Why did we have to send the SCVs? I don't quite understand why the SCVs needed to be there. But I guess after they got a taste for blood, right? When they defended all of the aggression from the Zerg player, when they saw all of those Hydra guts slither on the floor, they must have gone bad. I've heard of this in, like, I don't know, stories, you know, of farmers where, like, I don't know, they had an animal or whatever, like, attacking a human at some point. Maybe these SCVs also got a taste for blood, and the best thing to do is to just, well, maybe take them out of their misery.